Pint, and I just found out I was introducing this just before we went on there. But yeah, welcome. With all the lads are back, all 5 of us, for some drinks and talk about West Ham. So let us know what you're drinking in the comments down below, guys. I'm starting off. I've got Bud Light. First time the other day drinking this Bud Light, and I like it. It's nice.
Bud Light's nice, mate.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I've never had it before until the other day.
What you got?
I've got San Miguel.
Holiday beer. Beer.
Well, I got slagged off for having Desperado or whatever it was called.
Oh, did you?
Desperado.
What did I have? Desperado. I forgot what it was called.
Why'd you get slagged off? What, in the comments?
Nah, I was only joking. They're only fucking about, Dan. Don't worry, mate. They're only there. Don't get violent. Don't get violent.
Smash
what you got? What you got, Nick? What you having?
Do you know what? Just Coke tonight.
Classic Nicky, that.
Yeah,
no, I've got a headache. I've taken some tablets, so I better not fucking drink. Otherwise,
classic Nicky. The shop's too far up the road.
Downstairs, I went and got some the other day, but I've had a headache all day. So it is what it is, pals.
Graham's back on the whiskey.
Graham's never off the whiskey, mate.
Don't talk to me about whiskey. Jesus Christ.
I don't know what you're implying.
In the morning, I felt like drunk Bill Mitchell. I stunk of it. I had half a bottle of it.
Huh? I bet you have, Dan. You like the pub and that, didn't you?
What's that?
And drinking at home.
I have.
Yeah, I've been drinking, yeah. Well, yeah, I've had a few beers here and there.
Look at me syrup. I like Lloyd Christmas.
What's that you look like you're swirling it in parts that ain't there anymore.
Hey, no, look.
What's that?
Still there, mate. Don't you worry. Look. It ain't going yet.
See, me and Nicky don't need the barbers. We do it ourselves.
Do that again, Greg.
I've got a lovely wave going on.
Cool. That syrup nearly slipped off.
I know. I'm going for the 70s. I can start going for the 70s footballer look, I think.
Yeah,
you need a tash, Graham. You need a tash.
I've gone for the early 2000s look at the moment.
This day and age, mate, this is why I'm glad I've got no hair, because it's easy to keep it under control.
Nah, you'd love it. You'd love hair, mate. You missed the Brill cream.
To be honest.
Think of all the money you saved on hair products.
Yeah, and going to the barbers.
I still go to the bar.
I remember Nicky when he had to
the barbers.
Yeah, I love the barbers, man.
Don't they turn around to you and go, "Come on, mate"? Come on.
No. I like to go to the barbers once a month at least, if I can, if I make it up there, and have like a Turkish barber, like with the wet towel, the hot towel, and the burning the ears and the eyebrows done and all that. I like having all that done.
Yeah, when this gets back to normal, mate, I'll take you down my Turkish barbers, mate. They look after you properly now.
Bloody.
No, my wife gives a Turkish delight and a coffee.
He makes me coffee. They look after me now.
I remember my last trip to the barbers. I was in the chair for like 2 minutes, and I thought, it's not really worth it anymore, is it? Let's just shave you off.
What can he do if you ain't got no hair?
No, I mean, that was when I had some hair left. I had some hair, and that's what it was. I was still sort of trying to get it cut, and I was in and out so quick.
If you want any, I've got loads here. I can chop it off and send you some in the post.
Nah, I love it.
Stick some around the sides.
Yeah, you can have some of my eyebrow hair, mate.
Listen, I love being bald, mate. I love it. Who's the guy on the bottom left?
Oh, yeah.
Who are you? Tell us who you are.
Let's see what some of the boys are drinking in the chat.
I'll just hijack the
thread. John Italiano 85 says he's drinking Johnny Walker Black.
Ah, good choice.
Lee Chalcraft is saying he's on the Guinness. Right. John Italiano said, Ryan, you look like Sasquatch.
What's that?
Bigfoot.
I wonder if that's canned Guinness or bottle Guinness, because
gin and cider.
John Tilley says he's on the gin and the cider. All get skinhead, says Luke. I've got no problem with
that.
I am debating whether to just shave it all off.
So
leave your eyebrows
on my head. Can you imagine me with a skinhead?
Go on.
You look like, yeah.
Look
after what you've got.
Soho Miss says Brandy and Coke just paused Iron Maiden to watch WHF TV. Thank you very much. I don't half admit your match day content, boys, says Massa Moon. We'll be back sooner than you realise, mate. Nicky's Barnett is far too long. Get the clippers out. Yeah, there's loads of people. Right, what's the subject today?
Sullivan's comments about our finances, plus Mark Arnautovic and loads of stuff. Declan Rice to Chelsea, loads of stuff to talk about today. Should be a good little chat.
What do you want to talk about first? Graham, go on, I'll let you have a little choose.
Take the floor,
Why
Greg.
don't we go with the let's go with the Arnautovic question first, eh?
Right.
And he's early in the week apparently he's expressed an interest about coming back to West Ham.
Yeah.
What do you boys think? I know I think, but we'll leave that
I know
till the end.
what I think. I wouldn't have him nowhere near the club.
This has caused quite a bit of debate in our WhatsApp group because I am a fucking wanker.
I wouldn't.
I'm in the mindset is if he comes back for free, it's a great bit of business. But I do not understand what Ryan's saying, but this has caused quite a bit of a debate. Let me put the point to you. We sold him for 25 million. There's something that we're just about to talk about in about 10, 15 minutes time, which is some comments by David Sullivan. There's a possibility that he could come back for free, for no money, because, a lot of people are exiting China at the moment because of wage caps. There's only so many people that can earn above a certain wage. So all this Chinese exodus and all of this sort of thing, it's been cut short. So the likes of Oscar and Torreira, Tex Area, whatever his name is, and Hulk and all them guys are going to be looking for an exit strategy now because of a sort of a loophole in the fact that it's become a rule. There are going to be Chinese clubs that have got a lot of money that will be allowing to let some people go. So I'm not saying that he's going to come back for free, but there is a possibility that he could come back for free. Now, because of the comments made by Sullivan and all of that sort of stuff, which we'll get into in a minute, he might be our only fucking option. Not having a season like we've had now. Now, he was a fucking wanker for what he done. And I swear on my life, and in any other circumstances, I don't think I'd take him back. He weren't as good. Like I always said, I'd take Pint back. He weren't as good as Pint. He was nowhere near as good, but he was decent. Now, if there's a possibility that we could get him for free, and there's a possibility that we haven't got any other fucking choice, then I'll take him. But there is a lot, and I mean a lot of grovelling to do, and I don't think that other fans would take him. Which, in my eyes, they are completely right in having that opinion. And if more people say no than yes, then fuck him off.
The way I see it, mate, is that he had an opportunity. The fans, after what he'd done the first time round, he carried on. He didn't get his move. The second time round, I remember being at Tottenham away when we won, and he come and stood in front of the crowd, and he put his hand on his chest to say, like, sorry. And you think, all right, he's giving it he's all now. All right, we might be able to forgive him over time, but he shit on us again in the summer. I wouldn't want him back. I'd rather see a youngster chucked in and given a chance. I think I'd rather have Bowen given a chance instead of him. I don't want someone like Arnautovic to the club. He's shit on the badge. He's shit on the fans. He's shit on everyone. We give him a big opportunity at West Ham. He was at Stoke. West Ham is a step up. Whatever people said at the time, there was a step up. I know people say, yeah, he was a bastard. But as I said to you yesterday, I want him to be a bastard on the pitch. I want him to wind up opposition because he's doing it for my football team. But off the pitch, don't shit on the fans. Don't shit on the people that sing your name week in, week out. And I know football is a business, but it was his dream to go and play in China, which was a load of bollocks. No one dreams to play in China.
Just went for the money.
What about if he come out?
But again, his brother was, there was his brothers behind all that. But like you say, Nick, he may come back for a free. Everything may be all right for a couple of months, but then, once the financial situation starts picking up again, his brother might start angling for another move, and you're back to square one.
The way I see it, with that post that he done on Masuaku's Instagram, he's just putting himself in the window. So really, he's using West Ham again to let everyone else know that he's available and he wants to come back to the Premier League. But he's 30 years old. He'll probably do a good job at another Premier League team. But unfortunately, I mean, I don't want him at West Ham. That ship has sailed. We've moved on, like we did with Pint. Like you do. Players come and go.
Yeah.
Scott?
Yeah.
No, this was the thing, watching the discussion that was going on yesterday in the group chat. Like, Ryan's right in what he's saying. You know, Arnie's a decent player, he's a good player, and he will benefit. Mulling it over after what we were chatting about yesterday, I wouldn't take him back now, because I think, as I said, he shit on the flans. His attitude.
He shit on the fans.
He shit on the flans.
Yeah, shit on fans.
His attitude, I think, would disrupt the dressing room. And the situation that we're in now, you know, it's not going to benefit us, is it? Let's be honest. We don't want a bad apple within the unity of the team at the moment. We need a team that's going to pull together and become a lot stronger. And I just think him coming in would upset the apple cart.
I think it'd just bring a lot of baggage with him, wouldn't he?
Don't get me wrong, he was unbelievable under David Moyes last time.
Yeah.
David Moyes brought the best out of Arnautovic, and Arnautovic had just like Pint. He was the main man at West Ham at the time, and they always think they can go and better themselves. Money wise, yes, he did. Football wise, who's heard of Arnautovic since he left? You don't even really hear about Pint, do you? The Premier League is where you have to be if you want to be on the world stage. Yeah, everyone around the world watches the Premier League, and he was unreal for West Ham at that time. And as I said, he had an opportunity. After what he done first time, he shit on us again. So sum it up, fuck him.
Dan?
I mean, I've got just a much more matter of fact viewpoint of things. I can completely, like you said, I completely understand everyone's position on it. Who are, you know, who wouldn't want him back, and it is obviously just a normal reaction to have. But it's a tricky one. The way I feel about it is, to me, I would have hated it a lot more if he went to another Premier League team. I know it don't really change how he did and how he went about it, but you know, he went to China. Whereas I'd rather see any of our players go to fucking China than Spurs. But the thing is with Arnie, like I said, the way we got him in that same scenario. Like, he shit on Stoke on the way out, and this is what I was saying. Like, he was always that guy. Like, it's almost like if you're having an affair with someone's missus and you make her your missus, and then she goes and has an affair with someone else, like, and you're like, oh, I can't believe it. But yeah, I think if it was a free, and it would improve the team and the players. But for me, it would only if the players were okay with it. All the players, because I think what Ryan touched on, what Scott touched on, the dressing room harmony. If I would never just say, right, don't talk to the players, don't consult the players, and just get him in anyway because he's free, and then it upsets the balance. If the players were happy and the deal was right, then, you know, cool, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. Like, well, if he comes, I'm not going to start booing the bloke, and it could end up. I'd be very excited to see how he would fit in a team if maybe you did have, like, if you could find some way to fit in Antonio, Allaire, Bowen, and Arnautovic somehow in the same. I mean, 3 of them can play as either strikers or wingers, so that helps. But I'd be excited to see it. So yeah, I've sort of, my heart has sort of been hardened to a lot of them things over the years like that. So I end up not taking things to heart so much as I used to. Like, I think the Scott Parker to Spurs thing killed any last bit of emotionality in that.
The thing is, Dan, I get what you're saying, and to an extent, I agree with what you're saying. But it's just the us side of it, the fan side of it, and I said the harmony in the dressing room. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
You know, and there's a lot of rights in what you are saying. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, our board, if they've got an opportunity to get Arnie back, ain't really going to listen to the fans. Let's be honest. You know, they'll do what's right for them.
Oh no, they definitely will. They definitely will.
Really?
Fans. Do you think?
We've had a few messages pop up at the bottom saying he was just mucking about. Apparently, with
he might. You know what? He might be mucking about, but at the end of the day, when you do something like that, it's going to get a reaction in it from fans, because there are fans. I mean, I have seen people that would say they would want him back, but
but the thing is,
Ryan, personally,
yeah, It's like I said to you yesterday. You know, at the end of the day, he causes these stirs to put yourself in the papers, to put yourself on the media, to get attention to yourself because it forces him. And a lot of the time, that's the type of person he is. It's all about. It seems to be with him. It's all about the money.
Yeah, but he's an arrogant bastard. Let's be honest. Like we offered him. He came to West Ham. Like I know, you know, at the time, look, Stoke would say it's a sideward step. We at the time were a club that you look at and you think it is some sort of progression. I mean, you look where Stoke's gone now. I think Arnie leaving is a big part of that. But the main part of him coming to us, I think, was for the money. We offered more money, so that's why he came to us then. And he's, like I said, he's just an arrogant bastard. He's not loyal to the club. Why is he going to be loyal to West Ham? Like, really?
I don't think Arnie coming to West Ham the first time round was all down to money, because despite what people say, West Ham is a step up from Stoke. And at that time,
how much of a step up though?
It's a large step up.
I'm not saying it's
not now. I'm talking about then.
Even then, it was a large step up from Stoke. That's no disrespect to Stoke. We're a bigger club than Stoke.
What I'm saying is, at that time, Slaven Bilic was going out and he bought Hernandez and players like that. And then Arnautovic just probably looked at it thinking, right, yeah, this is a team that can challenge the top six. They're not going to get top six with Stoke. So, yeah, look, all players worry about money. There's no doubt about that. It's their wages at the end of the day. And the more they can get, the better for them and their families. But, yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's going to happen anyway. I don't think Arnautovic is going to come back to the Premier League anytime soon. So, as I said, I wouldn't want him back. I'd rather see a struggle and have someone like Bowen in the team giving it his all, because he wants to play for West Ham because he's got something to prove.
I mean, I'd question how much of the same player that he would be now, you know, going and playing in such a poor league for as long as he's been there for over a year, just over a year and a half for now.
Yeah, but the thing is, look at what's his face? Who went to United? Agallo?
Agallo, yeah.
Yeah, he's come back banging in goals for them. So, you know.
But he's a bit older. That's the only thing about him, isn't it, with Arnautovic?
It's
33.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
It's what the player. It's what the player is. You know, we can all get. You know, professional players in this country at West Ham could all go over to China and have an easier life. It's how they want to.
I still don't get me wrong. Like, hypothetically, he could still do a job. He could do a job in the Premier League on his best day. He's built for it. He's strong. He's got that quick off the mark. He's, you know, he's muscled his way in. He's got a little bit of skill about it. He's made for the Premier League. I don't doubt he'd do a job. Do I think he's going to come back? No, I don't. And as I said, you know, because of the situation I was talking about, personally, if we signed him, I don't think it'd be the worst bit of business. But I respect everyone that's turning around and going, no, fuck him, because I feel exactly the same way. You know, fuck it. I didn't like him.
That's a disruption he causes within it. That it would cause within the squad as well, though. You know,
it's like that. Pint,
but then that depends on asking them.
Pint
got the squad.
Pyatt obviously got a lot of stick, didn't he? But look at the reasons Pyatt left the club. His wasn't money financially. He's left because of personal reasons. Yeah. He could have, at that time, Pyatt could have gone to a lot of top European teams, but he had his heart set on going back to France because of what happened off the pitch. But Pyatt was the same. The only difference between Arnie and Pyatt is that Arnie still stuck around and played. Pyatt refused to train and didn't want to play and forced his way out. So it's one of them.
And on what Ryan's saying, more fans that said they'd take Pyatt back over Arnie. I'd be very interested to see like the comments of the people that say no to Arnie if they would take Pyatt back. Because I think some of the people that said they wouldn't take Arnie back for them reasons have said they take Pyatt back. And I think that comes down to being Pyatt just being that next level player. So like, where do your principles, where's the line, you know, with principles and just having a good player at the club?
So you know, I wouldn't want any of them back. But if they was both like both 30 and Pyatt was still in his sort of prime, then I'll take Pyatt back over on Arnautovic all day long.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You're going by a good player, but I'm saying the people that say they wouldn't have Arnie back because of what he did, but they also then would take Pyatt back because of how great he was.
So Dan, would you take Arnie back? Yes or no?
Well, if it was my decision and we were signing him on a free, If it was okay with the players, if they went around the restaurant and they went, absolutely, we ain't got no problem with him, then I would do it. Yeah, I would do it.
What about Payet then?
Payet, yeah. If the same, it'd have to be right for the players. The thing is with me, like I'm not a very grudgeful person. Like, I'm terrible at holding grudges. I could really have a blazing fallout with someone. As soon as they're nice to me again, I'm just like, oh, just melt away. So I don't hold grudges like that. So yeah, I mean, I would, again, if it all depends on the players. If the players were all like, yeah, brilliant, let's have him. If they said no, I wouldn't. If they didn't want him back, I wouldn't want him back, because like you said, the harmony in the dressing room is vital, and we can't have them doing more harm than good. So that's the big question mark. We don't know the players. We aren't the players, so we can't answer for them one way or another. So
the thing is, for me, I think Payet coming back would be a lot smoother than Arnie coming back.
I wouldn't, to be honest, I wouldn't take either back. They've shown, like through their actions in the past, shown what they thought of the club.
But
fans.
There was Defoe as well. I know a Defoe, that sort of changed. I mean, a lot of fans wanted Defoe in the end. I was one of them, and he obviously left on bad terms. But I think
Defoe was, I think, totally different. He was just ill-advised as a youngster. You know, he had a greedy agent, a bit like Arnautovic. But he had a greedy agent that just wanted him out of the club. He just wanted him to get a big move so he can make money, which agents do. I mean, as we said, you know, Defoe was only a kid at the time, a youngster.
Yeah.
I mean, Lampard's done it. You know, Ince has done it. We've had a history of players doing it for us. And would you take any of them back? Probably not. I mean, if your wife cheating on her and you take her back, you've got to be a fucking very strong person to do that.
Yeah, of course you are.
You know,
but lots of people have done it though, and it doesn't mean that's the wrong decision. Sometimes,
no, I'm not saying it's the wrong decision or the right decision. It's down to the people. But I just think, personally, for me, I think once Arnie done that, you know, he come out with the old. We lost to AFC Wimbledon. That prick was sitting there like an hero on his little video, going, "I'm back." Yeah. And then he fucks off.
Let's be honest, he didn't really perform after that anyway.
He had a couple of good games. Probably Tottenham away was probably his best game that he played for us.
Yeah.
Scott says we won't see much transfer activity at all now. No one will have any cash. I think we'll be following the Chelsea model next season, playing the youth. No way we could afford Arnie. Don't want him. Coronavirus started in a pangolin and not a bat. Okay. I would take Payet back. That season was one of the best I can remember. Gaz WH, let's play the players that left to take the piss. You leave, there's no coming back.
You should have read that in all caps, Nick.
I did. So Payet could do Dan's wife, but if he's nice to me, we'll forgive him.
Listen, 97, it depends on the circumstance, doesn't it? Obviously. That's like saying someone kills your gran and you forgive it. Obviously, it depends what it is. I said have a row.
Mate, if that was Payet at the last at the bowling season, he could do what he wants.
Jordan Harris says both mercenaries will have either back. Josh Thurston, I'd rather be in a championship with homegrown youth players who fight for the shirt than two mercenaries like Payet and Arnie. They're way over the hill anyway. Okay. Next subject, guys. Talk amongst yourself while I get this up on the internet, because it's going to be.
Well, why don't you start us off on what the subject is, and then you'll get your information, and we can sort of.
It's the David Sullivan quote.
Yeah, about him
saying finances, isn't it?
Yeah. The situation's hitting us hard. And we may have to make some big sales. I
think that's going to be the same for every Premiership club. Though.
Yeah, I think a lot of clubs are going to be in that position. Apart from
the likes of Chelsea and Man City, you know, because Chelsea obviously haven't spent over the last year or whatever. But I think financially they're going to be all right. But I mean, every other club is going to suffer in a little bit. You look at Tottenham; they're going to suffer as well. They've got to pay for their stadium. You know.
Well, they've just had a big Amazon deal, haven't they? They've got a big naming rights deal from Amazon now. That's probably going to help pay towards that.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be loads of teams that sort of suffer through this, especially Premier League clubs are going to struggle. Imagine what it's like for Championship teams in League One and League Two, and even below that. It's worrying times, really, because I can't see a lot of money being spent in the transfer window, whenever that is.
But that's a big if. Like, if other clubs do spend, we'll have to wait and see what happens at the end of the day. But if we see other clubs doing transfer business, but we're not, then questions will be asked. You know, if you see the Southamptons, you know, and the Leicesters and other, you know, them other teams in and around us, if we see them spending money and we're not, then you got to ask questions. If no one is, if everyone's hit by it, apart from, like you said, the mega rich super clubs, then you can say, do you know what, it is what it is. So that's going to be the big.
See, but that's the thing. If you look at City have got a bit of a rebuild. You know, they've had a shocking season. They've got to get back to the level that, you know, they're expected to be at and push. You know, they've dropped away from that.
They've had a shocking season.
Well, by their standards, they haven't they? 22 points off the team at the top of the league.
They still won the league. They can still end it if it does end with 3 trophies.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that. Well, I'm on. They're looking at it from the league. I'm looking at it from them, looking at a league perspective.
Yeah, shocking was probably strong of a word, but that's what you're saying.
Well, yeah, right. Well, by their standards in the league, they've had a shocking league season. Right.
So according to West Ham employee,
so if they're out there and they spend, then it's a knock-on effect. It puts money back into the system, so other clubs will then go and spend that money going forward. So we may see other teams spending, but this could be a good thing for us that we've got a few youth players sitting there who need to be given a chance. Like with Chelsea had a lot of youngsters. They got that transfer ban. They had to be thrown in, and you know they hit the ground running to some. You know,
they were sitting in 4th when the league ended. You know, it was
so we've got. Ghana, we've got Josh Cullen, both out on loan. You know, Nathan Holland, I know he's picked up an injury. Ben Johnson, we've got players there who we can bring in, and it may end up benefiting us. Do you know what I mean? Like not being able to go and sign someone will force us having to play these youngsters, which then could benefit us in the long term.
Yeah.
I mean, if it come to it and Chelsea offered something ridiculous like 90 to 100 million pound for Declan Rice, and that money was going to help save us and buy a few players, then you know that's a decision the club have to make. Personally, I don't want to see Declan Rice go, but sometimes you have to make these decisions.
What I wanted to say about this, I've sort of seen the bits and pieces from ex-West Ham employee, and the problem I have with it is this. Is they're looking at losing about 40 million quid in lost revenue. He's turning around because obviously they're paying staff and they're not getting like match day revenue. But you've got to understand this, that our match day revenues are a lot less than other teams' match day revenue. We don't pay stewards, we don't pay police, we don't pay all of that sort of stuff. We pay a set rent for the year, which is £2.5 million. We have got some away staff and things like that we have to look after, chefs in the club, etc., coaches and all that sort of thing. But our outlet is a lot less. Now, look, I'm not going to turn around and say I know the ins and outs of the club, but like that's common sense, right? You pay, we're renting, and they pay for everything on a match day. So we pay around, I think it's £2.5 million a year in rent. We pay about £125 a game, which is fucking pittance when it comes to when you think about what other clubs have to pay. Now, if we are all of a sudden he's getting like, you know, players have deferred wages as well, like percentages of their wages to help the staff get paid and all that, which is, you know, we was one of the first clubs. But if he's all of a sudden he's looking at books after about 3 or 4 weeks, and obviously they're looking at the worst case scenario, and he's looking at books and he's saying, oh, well, we can't cope. You know, we're going to have to set, everyone's on the table now and all that. Get out of the fucking club then. Do you know what I mean? Because you obviously haven't got the funds to run a football club. If it's that fragile, and after, you know, losing £40 million, like you could lose £40 million in a fucking transfer. Like if you can't afford to lose £40 million plus a little bit more, which you know, we think, get out of the club. You know, you've got no business running a football club. And the fact that we've gone on to this stadium, this project, and all of that sort of thing to start helping build, and you've got youngsters such as Diop and Rice and sort of building a team like that. All of a sudden, to just turn around and say they're all for sale now because we need the money. I think it's detriment. Like, you know, that geezer's worth a lot of money. Asset rich, cash poor.
It's the easy out, isn't it?
I think you'll find most football owners are like that, though.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, Ryan. If you haven't got the money to cover that sort of eventuality, get the fuck out. Get like Newcastle are being sold now. They've taken 300 million quid. It's knocked 50 million quid off just to get it done because of the coronavirus has hit the value of the club. He's starting to fucking sell now. They're going to have sort of billionaire owners. They won't have any problem. They'll be like in the next Man City or something like that. We could have been in there. We could have been in there with a shout. If they'd have turned around and made it available, it's just.
But, Nicky, do you remember we had Sean Whetstone on the podcast and he said, "Who's looking to buy a Premier League club?
Exactly.
No one's looking to buy a Premier League."
There was a Saudi billionaire out there. Who's looking to buy a Premier League? Well, them.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying Newcastle, for me, are a huge club. They're a huge club. They're a well-supported club around the world. They've got a huge fan base. They've got a huge stadium like us.
They're a sleeping giant.
They are a sleeping giant. But then we've got the same infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Every club's a sleeping giant when you get money.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
right.
but I mean, like you get some with a bigger fan base. Like I said, if you was to buy a Bournemouth, right? And like Bournemouth don't have the support that a Newcastle and West Ham have. So if you was to take a Newcastle and West Ham and actually invest in them, there's a lot of money to make that money back with worldwide fans.
The supporters come.
This is what I don't like about Golden Sullivan, right? This is what I don't like. Every bit of good news that happens, that comes out of the club, it seems to be followed up straight away with a little bit of bad news. And I think that they're using this situation, they've been getting and fucking rightly so. They've been getting praise for doing this and all that. But I think they look for little situations to take advantage of that. They might want to sell Rice. They might want to sell Anderson. They might want to sell Haller. They might want to sell Diop. But they're a little bit worried about the fan backlash because, so what's better than to take this situation and turn around and go, this is an excuse to sell anyone because we could get rid of anyone. And if anyone says anything, we need the money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's an easy out for them, isn't it? It's an easy way for them to say, "Oh, look, we don't want to sell no one, but we've got this massive hole that we need to fill, and unfortunately, we're going to have to sell the flat."
The thing is, they do think we're silly. Like, don't get me wrong, I ain't looked at the books. I ain't fucking an expert in football finance or nothing like that. There might well be, some sort of. Football. What's the bubble bursting for a little bit with Spurs and all of that sort of thing. But we'll see how the other clubs react, and that's what they don't sort of seem to think about. Is we can use it as an excuse, but if you see the likes of Southampton, Bournemouth, and all that, Bournemouth are a different kettle of fish. I think they're in a little bit of. Financial trouble as it is anyway. They're a tiny club. They've got a 10,000 seat stadium. But if you don't see the like Southampton and all that sort of fire, like using it as a fire sale, then you got to think you've got no business running a club.
I think we just need to wait until because we're all sitting here and we can say this, that, and the other, but we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with any other football club. We don't know what's going to happen with our own football club. So, it's easy for us to sit here and everyone else to sit here as well and say this, that, and the other, but we don't know. So they might have a plan. They might surprise us all. And we all want them at the football club, but at the moment that's not happening. Newcastle's been up for sale for 13 years or however long. Yeah, it's only just been sold. So and they've been sold on the cheap. As you said, size of that football club, well-supported football club. It's a one city club, so they're going to have a big fan base. They're loyal fan base up there. I know they deserve a bit of success, but so do we. But it's not going to happen under these owners. We know that. But at the moment, as you said, not many people are looking to buy a Premier League club. And what are West Ham worth? They're worth more than 300 million, easy.
Are they?
Yeah, of course they are.
Well, they're worth what people would pay for them, but I wouldn't say we was worth more than 300 million.
They reckon we're worth $1 billion. That's what they reckon we're worth, and nowhere near that. Like I said, we don't have our own ground.
No, that would only be if we own the ground. If we own the ground, then we're worth a lot more than what.
If we was given that stadium and we own that surrounding bits of that stadium, we'd be worth plus 700 plus easy.
Yeah.
Easy. A London football club, Premier League with them assets and that ground, despite what we think about the stadium, we would easily.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the thing. If we own that stadium, Golden Sullivan would be now.
Yeah, but if we own the stadium, you could do what you want to it. You turn it into a proper football stadium.
Yeah, but no, that's
worth even more then, wouldn't it?
If the original deal had gone ahead, we wouldn't be sitting here with Golden Sullivan as our owners now. They would have gone.
Interesting take there, Scott. That's interesting. Like the thing is as well, like though, if new owners did buy us, the fact that they'd have to spend a lot of money on the ground to convert it and do what they need to do on it, that would be taken into consideration. So
new owners buy us, mate. People will turn on them. It happens. And then there'd be people out there who saying, I wish I had Golden Sullivan back. It happens. It happens.
Mate.
That's life, isn't it?
Yeah, but you say that. You say
cycles, isn't it?
Who said that? No, even though these have been shit, who has said they want the Browns back? No one said that. I mean, the Icelandics, I think they had the right intentions, but they a freak fucking financial.
The Icelandic were better than Brown and the Kerns.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But like, no one ever said, I wish we had the Browns back.
They had the dreams, but they never had the money. And whatever you think of, Golden Sullivan got us out of that situation because we'd have gone out of business.
No, they did, but they did have the money. But they went bankrupt. They went the Icelandic bank crisis.
No, that's what I'm saying. They had the money, but they didn't have the money.
They had it until they didn't have it. Yeah,
they can easily say that. Yeah, we've got this, that, and the other, but it's not there. They had champagne taste, but lemonade money.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. They had the money at the time until that crisis happened, and then all their intent. That's why they had to sell the club. So when they had the intent that they had, they would have took us forward. I think. Where how far? Who knows? But
not
that's what I'm saying.
Biscuits.
Like no one ever looks back on the Browns or the Kerns and go, I wish we had them back. So I don't think it's just automatic to think that we have new owners, they'll turn as long as they do things in the right way. I think with Golden Sullivan before the stadium move, I think more people was actually against them. But it's just what they've done since.
It'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see do you know what? I just seen that comment come up there. It's just about what I say. It'd be interesting to see what happens if that stadium was given to us. You know, what the club could do then, and whether it be with Golden Sullivan or new owners, it'd be interesting to see because whatever happens, we'd have to leave the London Stadium for a year or two if they had to redevelop it. Yeah. And I'll take that. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah.
Good comment from Miles Avery at the bottom there. He said, "Imagine what kind of financial situation the LDC are in. Not only are they already losing 30 mil a year, now there's no football, no athletics. Could be pressured to sell."
And the LLDC or whatever they've renamed themselves for the freaking 50th time now is the biggest shambles I've ever known in any sort of But this is Great Britain.
They're saving money.
This is Great Britain. They never they save money by no athletics. That's how much of a fucking shambles the whole fucking company is. The whole Olympic legacy of that stadium and all of that sort of thing. Too many people with fucking pipe dreams with, Ryan said it earlier, champagne taste, lemonade money. And they have to fucking, they have to dip into the public purse and all that. It's a fucking sham. It's a shambles the way it's run. A fucking shambles.
I mean, I know we've like the club have been dug out, saying, oh, you're basically getting a stadium for, next to nothing, right? But it costs the taxpayer more money to sit there empty.
As much as people turn around and say, and I'm not happy with my money being spunked up the wall, fucking converting it from athletics and all that. I'm a taxpayer. I'm not completely fucking happy with it. But it's the government's fault. It's not West Ham's fault. It's the government's fault. And I tell you what, West Ham wanted to buy it. West Ham wanted to buy it, and it was the fucking public and Tottenham and all that turned around and said they shouldn't be allowed to buy it.
Yep.
They would still be losing the same amount of money. Fucking stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
this is their out, because Scott, you said about they're saving money. They are, but obviously once everything comes back again, they'll lose money again.
They're
So
still
this
losing,
situation,
they're losing less money.
yeah, less money, right? They're losing less money, but that's what I'm saying. So when things go back to normal, they'll be in the same boat. So this situation is a perfect out for them to be able to say to the public, look, because of the coronavirus and the situation now, we have to be in a position where we've got to sell the stadium, so they can save some sort of face there.
They won't be able to sell jack shit, mate. They'll have to hand it.
Well, hand it, yeah.
Come to West Ham and turn around and go, we're ready to sell it now. West Ham will turn around and go, we're happy with our 99-year lease, thanks.
Yeah, but the thing is that you've got to look at it now from if they're losing, that's right, they're losing 30 million a year. They turned around and said, right, we're selling the stadium to West Ham for 50 million. That's 50 million they've earned back. That's 30 million every year. They're not going to lose for 99 years.
Nick. So Sally can't wait.
I mean, that's how they're going to look at it eventually. That it is literally they're going to save money in the long run. You're losing 30 million a year over 99 years is ridiculous. To earn 50 million quid and then save that 30 million over however many years left of the lease, it makes every fan that criticises us for taking that deal, their club would not have knocked that deal. What Premier League club or Championship club would have got a stadium of that size for £2.5 million a year and knocked it back? Not one of them. And
nobody would have done it.
Exactly.
But the situation is, eventually they'll own it, and I think when they own it, that's when they'll sell it. It's like a waiting game. It's like a game of chicken.
Yep.
It's who's gonna buckle first.
Yeah, exactly.
But then if we was in their situation, financially, we'd do the same thing. As a business point of view, we'd do the same thing. You'd hold it out as long as you could until you own the ground to sell it for more money. But we obviously want them to go now. So, but look, as we said, like with what's going on at the moment, let's just wait till we get through this, and then hopefully we can finish the season off, and then just see what happens in the summer.
With all this,
Hammer said, "I'll send £20 to Captain Tom if you finish the show after today by singing a whole of Bubbles together." I haven't heard a group of lads sing it for ages.
If
you donate 30, Graham will take his clothes off.
God, no.
50, I'll sing anything.
They lose money if I do that.
Bless him, that geezer's unbelievable. He only wanted to raise like a couple of grand.
£1,000, minute. He wanted £1,000.
12 million there, isn't he?
15 million today.
Yeah.
No, it's up to over 18, I think.
Unbelievable.
He's pushing 20 mil now.
Let's hope he gets recognised in the next.
He just went over 20 mil.
Yeah.
I think he'd definitely be knighted.
Yeah. He's got to be given straight now. You know what I mean? The geezer fought for his country, and now he's doing that at his age. And there's people who are probably a quarter of his age that are.
He's walked a lot. He's walked a lot further than me and I have in the last 3 weeks. I tell you.
That's it. And good
it shows you this. I've seen comparisons, but you look at him and Sam Smith. Sam Smith was on his doorstep crying after 3 days.
Exactly.
And then you got this guy who's been through fucking world wars and all that sort of stuff, walking around his fucking garden. He can barely, like, my hips are gone, I think. when we get back to the football, I think you're going to have to start wheeling me about.
You need that little walker that he's got.
Yeah,
but no, like I say, he's certainly a inspirational.
Yeah, if he's not recognised by the Queen, the next time it comes up, this country's truly broken. It's broken if he don't.
Let's be honest. After people that get recognised by the Queen and in the honours list and all that don't fully deserve it, and he's someone who massively does.
Well, we have Gareth Southgate and Aaron Kane.
If you want to prove to me that you've donated that, we'll all do that at the end of the show. Donate any more. Something else. I don't know.
Something else. Yeah.
What else we got? Do we need to bring in new defenders, as there's been too many sloppy mistakes this season? For example, offloading Masuaku and Balbuena. I'll tell you what I'll come up with this week is David Moyes saying that he wants to build a younger, more homegrown team.
And as a fan, I love to hear that.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. I've grown up with West Ham bringing through youth, and and buying young British talent. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, I love the foreign players as well. I love flair. It's about mixing it up a bit. But yeah, I think if more youngsters are given opportunities and David Moyes wants to look in the lower leagues, because it's helped us out before. I mean, Antonio was a great find. Bowen is going to be a great find. He's got all the attributes to be a top player in the Premier League. Creswell was a great find. So sometimes you have to dip down in the lower leagues just to find these. You don't always have to spend the 50, 60 millions on the foreign players when you can look into the Championship and find an absolute gem.
The big thing is
Chelsea proved this year, giving a bit of, some of the younger lads in the youth team, brought them through, and it's benefited England as well. They've gone into the England side and
let's be fair
and done well.
The transfers, like the foreigners that come over to this country, how many would you truly say? Yeah, are worth their money when it comes to the transfers?
I don't think any player's worth that sort of money. Like, was Felipe Anderson worth, what was it, 35, 40 million?
Yeah.
Wasn't. But in the current market, that's the money you have to pay.
Yeah, it's the TV money.
Because the players don't set the values. That's the thing.
Yeah, because of the TV money,
the players don't set the values.
All the other leagues are going to look at England now, English clubs, and go, we know you've got fucking 100 million this season. So, yeah, this is how much this player is.
I know he's been poor this season, but Lanzini, we only paid like 7 odd million for him. And a takeaway this season, he's been a great find as well. We took him in on loan and he done well in that first season. We went out and signed him. So it was great. It's always good to look around sometimes. And there's a lot of good talent in the Championship. I mean, we've been linked with that Nottingham Forest player. Is it Matty Cash?
Yeah.
And players like that excite me. And you look what, like Graham said, look what Chelsea have done this season with Mason Mount and I can't remember his name there, but that young kid, Billy something. He's been unreal when I've seen him play. I've seen him play about 3 or 4 times.
He was superb in the cup game against Liverpool. Yeah,
and he hasn't looked out of place.
Billy Gilmore, innit?
Yeah, I think it's it. Yeah. Roy Keane praised him and called him world class. And if someone like Roy Keane's saying that, usually Roy Keane's, you don't really open up about giving people praise.
Taking a chance on them, and it's giving them the chance. When you look at what we paid bringing in Masuaku in, right? I know we didn't have Johnson and Ngakia at the time, but we brought Masuaku in and what we're paying him, and you've got 2 youngsters like Ngakia and Johnson. Would you say that they're? For me, I think they're no worse than Masuaku defensively.
I do understand sometimes as a manager that you don't want to put too much pressure on youngsters, but I think you can't keep saying that, because if they've not given a chance, then how can they prove that they're good? Imagine if Harry Redknapp didn't chuck in Joe Cole, Carrick, Rio, Lampard. You got to remember when Rio and Lampard were youngsters, they were taken away with the Euro 96 squad. Obviously, they didn't play, but Terry Venables see a lot in them to say, look, come and get some, practice and see what it's like to be around the England squad, and you'll be in the next squads. And then Rio went to the 98 World Cup.
It's a case of if you're good enough, you're old enough.
The thing is, it's all well and good him saying he's got this plan to get young English players and players from the Championships. For me, it's if he's going to start to get players and build a system and say, right, you fit this system, not just random like, right, well, you're a striker, you scored quite a few goals in the Championship. We're going to sign you even though you don't fit how we're going to play. You're a winger and you don't fit how we want to play.
I think he looked at Bowen, and Bowen has been one of the best players in the Championship this season. He's definitely one of the top 3 players. So they've identified that and they've gone out and got him to build for the future.
Yeah, and I'm saying we don't want to see another Haller situation.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. What we've got, if you look at someone like Sebastian Haller, I'm not going to criticise him too much this season, but it hasn't worked out how we wanted it to work out. We was all excited and wanted him to be our 20-goal a season striker. Hasn't worked out. But if he can build, sort of get a core of that team, you've got Fabianski, Diop, Rice, Haller. You start building around that and you'll get a decent team. There are decent players at West Ham. And
playing to the better player strengths.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So play 2 up top.
We need some fucking athletes in midfield, because I think our athleticism and our how hard we work. I don't think it's enough. Cox United, Nicky, do you know how long it would take for our pint glasses to come? Yes, I do. They'll be with you any minute now. Everything's been sent off. There was a problem at the factory where they was being made. They was meant to be sending them off. They had to shut down because of the virus, so we had to go and get them all and send them off manually. But they have all been, everything's up to date now. So
don't say it. Don't say in a minute. They'll all be waiting at the door.
Yeah, looking out the window.
I don't mean it, but
car goes past. They go, that's him.
They've all been sent off now. Everything's up to date. So if you've ordered one, they'll be with you very, very soon. As in, Sport this year, says Chris Simpson, I'm assuming BBC Sports Personality of the Year is off in 2020. That being the case, could we have an NHS Personality of the Year instead of feckless celebrities? No. To be fair, how can you choose one? Because they're all as important as each other. How could you have an NHS Personality of the Year? They're all as important as each other. To pick one out, I think would be totally unfair. Let the sportsmen stroke their egos. NHS staff, they don't need their ego stroking.
Even if they did have an NHS, Mo Farah still be probably nominated for it.
They have didn't they have some sort of hero awards or something like that? I do remember
every year.
Yeah, Britain.
Yeah, so you got that, and I'm sure a lot of people like that Captain Tom and all these other people will be recognised during that event.
Rest in peace, Norman Hunter. Yeah, he lost his life.
Yeah, it was sad news today.
Very, very sad news. Now, you talk about legends, mate. My dad would sit there and talk for fucking days about people like Norman Hunter. Very good Leeds team of the 70s, I believe.
He got a 96 winners, 66 winners medal in the end, didn't he? I think they awarded it in.
Yeah, Jimmy Graves.
Yeah.
And I think the other squad players.
It's a shame back in them days that, he couldn't have subs on the bench because, as you said, Jimmy Greaves missed out in the final.
Have you seen the BT Sport film about Jimmy Graves?
Don't forget the cat, Bonetti, died as well the other day. He was part of the England squad.
Bonetti,
It's mad.
Yeah, too many legends going too soon.
I haven't seen your documentary, Graham. What's it about?
It's about Jimmy Graves, like his life and that. It's really good watch. If you get a chance to watch it on BT Sport, watch it. It's really good.
So again, the amount of comments on Ryan's ear is unreal.
I'm not shaving it. I'm not combing it. I'm not gelling it. I'm just going lockdown natural.
Lockdown locks.
We'll have an airband in it next.
I'm going for the Tony Tucker Rise of the Foot Soldier look. We're just gonna bleach it blonde next week.
You posted that picture and someone posted one underneath of that bother from Green Street.
Yeah, but I posted one of Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
What's next? Was there anything else?
I feel like there was a topic that we missed out that we said we was.
There was a Declan Rice to Chelsea, wasn't it?
That was the other one. Oh, that was it. Yeah, Declan Rice to Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean,
sort of covered that in the financial bit.
Yeah, I mean, Declan Rice obviously saying about that he wants to play with Mason Mount again at club level. Don't sound too good for me because I can't see us signing Mason Mount. But as I said last week, like if Declan Rice has got ambitions and he wants to leave the club and go and better himself and go to a top 4 club, I've got no problems with it. I'll be upset because I like Declan Rice. But as long as he's done the right way and we get the right money for him, if we do sell him, then you can't stand in a player's way.
That's it. That's exactly it. If that's what he wants and he wants to push his career on, if we're not going to match his ambitions, then you can't blame him. But like you said, it's got to be the right terms for us. It's got to be massive money. Because
we hold the cards.
Yeah, that's it. And that is exactly it. Rice isn't going to do an Arnie or a Payet, let's be honest.
Well, we don't know that. I'd hope to think he wouldn't.
Yeah,
you'd hope he wouldn't. He doesn't seem that sort of
Declan Rice for me is future West Ham captain. He's 21 now. Even if he stays with us for another 2, 3, 4 years, even he left us at 25. He'll still be in the peak of his career. So he's got. But I'd love to say he's going to stay with West Ham for the rest of his career, but I know he ain't. Yeah. So it's about us.
But that goes back to when you look at the transfers. If Moyes going forward wants to build, has a plan and wants to build a squad, Rice is a player you've got to be looking to build that squad round.
Oh, massively. Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't want to be in a situation where
if I was bored,
losing right near the end.
If I was the board and I was David Moyes and I was Mark Noble, I'd drag Declan Rice in and Noble would say, look, take the captain's armband off me. Make him the team captain, Noble the club captain, and give him that responsibility. Because make him feel that I've got a future here. You know, when they was talking about Thomas Souček being a future captain, if I was Declan Rice, I'd be thinking, well, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking, nah. You know, Declan Rice is ready made to take over from Mark Noble. Mark Noble's got another season, another season in and out of the team for me, and then.
He's I think next season, pending on transfers, things like that, I think he'll be a backup for if someone picks up a knock and things like that.
Yeah, it'd be a squad player, and I think that Noble's at that age now where I know he's only 32. He's young to us, but as a football player, he's been in the first team for 16 years, whatever it is. That's a lot of football. He's played a lot of games for West Ham in his career, and he's hardly ever injured, is he?
No.
So he's played a lot of football, and it's going to come to an end, unfortunately. But Declan Rice, for me, is ideal to replace him and give him that captain's armband.
It'd be mad then for them not to do that.
So, that's the thing, I think with Souček, it's just more of his attitude, the type of player that he is. That's why they see him as a captain material, because his attitude is bang on point. He's a proper footballer. He's that type who like what you had with the Di Canios and players like that who are in training early. They're the last ones to leave training. They're looking at he leads by that example.
But he's been here for like 5 minutes, so I really disagree with making players as soon as they come in, they're your captain.
I agree.
But they're not making him captain. They see him as someone who.
If they was to do it like say next season or something like that.
If they sit there and go, I see Souček more as a captain than Declan Rice, then there's definitely something wrong there.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm saying if they're seeing him as a captain, then that's a good thing.
Oh, it says good. It says a lot about Souček, but Rice should be in front of him.
Yeah, but that's the thing is we need more leaders on the pitch. That's something that we haven't had. We haven't had for a long time. You take Noble and Rice out. How many other leaders are on that pitch at the moment?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
You look at all the not necessarily West Ham, but the teams of the past that have dominated English football. The thing they've had in common is, yes, they've had a team captain, but you could pick 6, 7, 8 players out of the teams and go, well, they could be a captain, they could be a captain, they could be a captain. And that's what we need. I think we need everyone, everyone to step up. If someone's not on it, someone else steps up.
I do think Declan will leave
this summer, this transfer window.
Yeah, I do.
I agree. Yeah. I think he will leave. I don't think it'll be next season, though. I think it'll be probably a season after. Yeah. Unless
I was speaking
money offer comes in, mate. If something like 90, 100 million comes in, then I think we've got to seriously consider it.
Yeah. I was speaking to a Chelsea fan, and they said they don't need him. Right. This the players that they've got.
Yeah, but they don't say that until he's actually sitting in their shirt.
The team that really needs him is Man United.
Declan Rice is that you never appreciate a player like Declan Rice until you've got a Declan Rice in your team, and I don't think anyone would ever. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to England and stuff, all right, the kid's like 20 years old. He's learning the fucking game. You know what I mean? Like you're not a fucking world class superstar straight away. They can't all be Mbappe, but trust me, that kid has got a massive future in it. But I think he'll leave. Yeah. I think the board will use this as an excuse to sell him without too much of a fuss. I think they've got, and you've got to remember this. And don't get me wrong, Declan Rice is a West Ham boy through and through at the minute. You know what I mean? Like he's got loads of love for the club. He'll always have loads of love for the fans and all that stuff. But growing up, and all of his family are Chelsea boys. He grew up at the Chelsea Academy. He grew up idolising people like Frank Lampard. His best mates over there playing in Champions Leagues and things like that. Mason Mount. It's all set up for him to go to Chelsea.
But Man United need him more, and I think Man United will pay more money. Now, if he goes to Man United, he's crazy because he's going to kill his career. Every promising young player that goes to Man United lately in the past few years, they've just gone backwards. But that's what I'm saying. Man United. So say Man United came to us and offered us 90 million, but Chelsea was only willing to pay 70. Then what happens?
You take the 90.
You take the 90, but then he might go, it's my boy, a dream. It will come at an impact.
You saying with the Chelsea guy, the Chelsea fan said to you, with the emergence of Gilmour, who plays holding midfield, plus they've got Kante, do they really need Declan Rice?
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to try and move him.
He's going to leave.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you. If they're going to take Declan Rice, they're taking Declan Rice as a centre half, not an holding midfielder.
The problem is when you get a player that gets in the England squad, they always seem to have their head turned. You know, you can imagine the banter that goes on when they're saying, you can imagine players sitting around going, look at you, you're down the bottom of the league, I'm in the Champions League and things like that. And all players want to win trophies. They want to play against the best teams in the world. They want to play on the big stage. So if he goes and it's the right way, I think if Declan Rice left the right way, I think he'd be treated just like Carrick was when Carrick come back to West Ham. Always got a good reception, and he never seemed to rub it in the West Ham faces.
No. Same with Rio as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Tim Smith says, sell Lanzini and buy Mount. You're in the same situation. Young player, promising player. Obviously, the Champions League is a draw for him. He's a Chelsea fan as well. He's not going to come to West Ham, mate. You're going to be paying like fucking mega bucks to get him at West Ham. It's just...
I'll take 90 million and Ross Barkley.
Yeah, exactly. Would you take... there you go, Jamie Ling. Would you take anyone in a swap plus money?
Yeah, swap. I mean, who else could you take in swap plus money? Because obviously you couldn't take money and Mount.
Ross Barkley.
But
like Ryan just said, money and Barkley.
What's his injury? He's been injured quite a bit, and Barkley, and he got quite a bad injury.
If fitting well at West Ham, then
Exactly.
The problem is that you obviously losing Rice, you need to replace him. You know, and you need work in. You know, you need workers in our midfield more than anything else.
If you want to replace Rice like for like, that 90 million has got to be spent. The whole money has got to be spent on the player.
Yeah.
What about a straight swap with Tammy Abraham? Rice for Abraham. Could you imagine that one?
Kovacic would be a good one. They wouldn't sell him, no. Loftus-Cheek.
Would you take 60 million and Abraham?
Oh, yeah, I would.
I think you're looking at the same similar situation with Abraham.
Yeah, you're still leaving yourself.
Listen, Abraham's had a great season, but he's only been given chances because they haven't gone out and spent big on a striker. Chelsea will spend big next summer or the next transfer window, wherever it is. They will spend big, and Abrahams will just be in and out of the team. So he might want to think, I want to go and play first team football, just like Lukaku did when he went on loan.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be a good move.
Loftus-Cheek might be someone who comes available. You know, he's had some bad injuries, isn't he? So you know he's been out for a while, but he could be someone who does come available.
I'm glad no one said Giroud. I think
contract. I couldn't use him as a partnership because he'll be free.
Yeah. I just think he's aged. You know, 3 or 4 years ago, I would have took Giroud.
I'll take Giroud if it was a free transfer as a squad player.
I would as well.
How much money is he on though? He's on big money.
Giroud would have been good for us sort of 5-6 years ago, I think.
Who's their other striker?
At the end of the season.
Batshuayi, yeah.
Batshuayi, yeah. He how many times has he turned us down? So
yeah, that's the thing.
The thing with Giroud is, as I said, his all-round game would benefit players like Bowen and Anderson and players like that.
He's a hold-up player, isn't he?
Yeah, he ain't got the legs.
But the thing is, he's got a
fucking signing Olivier Giroud.
He's the sort of player you bring on 10-15 minutes to go
to
get a goal.
Yeah, that would be in the complete opposite direction that we and David Moyes says he wants to go in. I think that would be the wrong signing. It'd be like the signing we did like last season.
Like he's saying he wants to build a younger side. We don't want to be signing players that are sort of coming to the end of their careers.
What about that little kid from QPR?
What?
Easy, isn't it? Or
yeah.
I think.
And we're linked with him, and we need one of the players that we're linked with. I've seen him and West Ham banded together.
I would be offering them Ugill, Cullen, and money.
Ugill, Cullen, and money. Right, interesting.
See, I think Cullen might get a little bit of a shot under David Moyes next season.
I'd like to give him one more chance.
I think Cullen's time's up.
Nah, I don't think he's ever been given an opportunity. Has he? The only thing that worries me of him is he's starting to pick up a lot of injuries.
Well, he's 24.
Huh?
He's 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like...
I'd rather get rid of Jack Wilshere and bring Cullen in.
I don't think anyone would take Jack Wilshere.
I'd just release him. I mean, it's a shame it hasn't worked out for Jack Wilshere because we know on his day he's talent, but it hasn't worked out for him, and that's just the way it goes. We knew what we was getting when we signed up. It was like signing a dodgy fire stick.
Dodgy.
Yeah, it was going to work one or two ways.
It works for a couple of days and then it goes to shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. We never really seen Cullen get an opportunity in the Premier League much. Like the way Ngakia and Declan Rice was brought through, and Ben Johnson.
I'm not saying Cullen's going to be our answer to take someone like Noble's place, but if he's not really been given a chance, has he? So even if you give him a full pre-season, if we play against
but that's the thing. With Cullen, he's only ever been given a chance when we've literally changed the whole team.
Yeah, exactly.
Ngakia got given a chance when we just changed that right back
position. Yeah,
same as Ben Johnson when he came in against Manchester City. It was really the only change that we made in the overall first team squad. And that's the problem. Someone put in the comments before about Big Sam playing the youngsters and they got beat 5-0. When you look at that team, the shape that we never played 3-5-2 in the whole time under Sam Allardyce.
Scott, that was like, that game for you was like pong, all them youngsters on there. We played the 3-5-2.
It was really.
He had who was at the back? A centre midfielder who played as centre half as a sweeper role with 3 at the back.
But
we changed the whole lot. No, it was one of the older midfielders. I can't remember who it was, but you know what I mean. We threw all the youngsters in and went saying, "Oh yeah, here's all the youngsters," playing them in a system they don't know how to play, and it ruined them. And that's the thing. You bring a player in around 10 other first team players, that player will flourish. Like we've seen with Ngakia, like we've seen with Johnson, like you've seen with Rice coming in. But if you chuck that player in with 9 other youth team players, it's going to be hard for him.
Of course. Adam Harding, he just said ridiculous that Cullen's time's up. He says, I remember when we were writing about Tony Martinez be given a chance, that didn't work out, but I think Cullen's ready but needs a chance. I think if you've played 3 games in 5 years and you're 24 years old, I think your time is coming. Like it's the time for him as a player, like to break into the team. I think he's coming to an end. There's going to be a point where he's going to turn around and go, look, if I'm going to make a career out of this, I'm going to have to go somewhere else.
But the thing is, if he was going to lower league clubs and not performing, then I'd agree his time's up. But every season he's been out on loan, he's almost been the player of the season for that club.
Is as well, what you got to think of is that he's 20, so he's 24 now. When we first moved to London Stadium, when he'd been 20, every season we've struggled. So it's a lot of pressure to put on a kid to chuck in. It's the situations. I mean, if it had been 2022 when we was at the Boleyn season, it might have been easier to chuck him in a team that was, high on confidence and playing good football. So I've seen him play in reserve games and I've seen him play a lot for Charlton. And he looks a good player, but if he's not,
he went to Bradford. I think it was Bradford on loan. He was almost player of the season after playing half the season.
He won every single award.
No, I think he didn't win the player of the year because I think Reece Burke won it.
To be fair,
Charlton done a similar sort of thing. He's gone to Charlton this season, had another good season. That's what I'm saying. He's still performing. So I don't think his time's up. I think he needs to be given the right opportunity.
I don't understand why he never has been. Like you look at some of the fucking tripe we've had in our midfield over the last couple of years. Yeah, you look at some tripe that we've had in our. The fact that we've just had fucking. Hold on, one second. I can't hear you because I'm talking.
I'm talking.
Well, I can't hear what you're saying. If I'm talking, I can't hear you. Yes, to be fair, you look at we've had Carlos Sanchez in our midfield for the last couple of years. We've had fucking all due respect, I loved him as a player, but we've had Pedro Obiang in there.
Nordvite.
Yeah, but it was a good few years ago now. But
wasn't that long ago? It was 2 years ago.
Was it 3 or 4 years ago?
No, it was 2017 season, I think. 16, 17 or 17, 18.
He left the first season at the London Stadium.
Yeah, but so Cullen would have been about 21.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When you look at surely, if his time was coming, they would have kept him around and just give him a few you know, League Cup games, FA Cup games every now and then just to get him around. It doesn't. I don't know whether it's because of changing managers and.
Well, David Moyes sort of did give him a little chance in the FA Cup and that. Pellegrini obviously come in. We got to look at with managers like Pellegrini, foreign managers. They seem to sort of prefer foreign players than young English players. You find that a lot with most of these sort of foreign managers. So look, all you can hope is that he comes back pre-season and David Moyes looks at him and judges him then.
Well, if the transfer situation is correct, what bloody Sullivan's saying, we might need him. You know, we might have to use Cullen.
He might have to go in goal.
Cullen's just turned 23.
Yes, he's just turned 24.
Did you wiki it, Nick? Have you been on wiki?
He was born in 96. I know that for a fact.
Right.
There you go. That Miles backs me up. Cullen turned 24 2 weeks ago. There you go.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's true.
Has anyone got anything else to talk about? Is everyone still drinking? What we drinking?
Still drinking, man.
I've finished my one. I mean,
your headache tablets must have kicked in now. You must be able to swig a quick one, surely.
Well, no, I can't. I can't leave the room.
I've done both mine that I had here. So yeah.
Ah, bloody hell, Scott.
Well, what about Blockbusters? That was good.
Someone asked about if we're going to do any more of that, didn't they?
Yeah, Scott next, and he Ryan's a champion now. He stays on.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Who's the next challenger?
With Scott. Scott.
Yeah,
Scotty.
I'm coming for you, Scott.
You know what I've got as well? Instead of like doing the shout out, I think I've found a buzzer that we can connect together. So you can have your fingers on the buzzer and it will tell me you buzzed in first.
Right, I should get a rematch on that. I should get a re.
Don't be bitter, Dan. Don't be bitter.
Well, come on.
I like the way Dan moaned about it being delayed when I was on my last one, but when it was even when you watch the replay, you hear me say it first.
But Ryan, at the same time, you stopped moaning about it when you was getting the questions right.
Yeah, because my delay must have caught up because I was getting in because I had to wave my hands in the air.
Nicky, but the thing is, with me, it was more like Nicky would read a question out and I'd see his lips moving like, player signed 2007. I'd be like, what was that? So half his thing was kind of, but no, I'm just saying, if we get a buzzer,
listen, we can do it together in a studio and I'll still smash your ass.
What we can do.
Quiz King 2 years running. That's all I'm saying, mate.
You boys would be a good five-a-side team. Nicky at centre half, Ryan full-back, Graham tank in midfield, Dan would get on the wing. Scott's fucking. You got that completely the wrong way round.
Nicky's the striker.
Who's going in goal?
I don't know. Maybe we don't have a goalie.
Yeah.
Goalie rush.
Put Nick Tucker in goal. Nick Tucker again goal.
No, six-a-side then.
With his boxing gloves on.
Listen, mate, my fucking football days are well behind me now. Don't worry about that. Galaxy Techno Beats Nicky, whose face is that in your shirt? Smart Noble. Can you see?
Looks like Richard Madeley.
Mark Noble for Prime Minister. Do a five-a-side team. Do a five on the same team on FIFA. Some of us don't play FIFA. Well, listen, there ain't no competition at FIFA, mate. I will fucking...
Nick, we need another game, Nick, because like I said, you ain't beat me.
Nicky always seems... Nicky must have some sort of dive button that gets you sent off. Every time I play him, I end up having a player sent off.
No, we was at the FIFA Launch Awards, right? And we done like three or four games.
Once. Listen, I won't score with any of you.
Nick, I beat you like 3 times in a row at the FIFA Launch Awards.
You didn't tell us that, Nick.
I did. You could not beat me on that FIFA Launch Awards. FIFA 17, I think it was.
Nicky must have had a delay.
He's had the delay. It's still the wireless connection with the controller. But Nick, I'd happy to take you. I haven't even played the new FIFA, and I'll take you on sometime.
Mate, don't start. You're like me
son. That sounds like a challenge.
Just because I look like your son, Nick, that means I'm your son.
Yeah, this is a good question.
What's he just said there?
Just started the Bond films in order. What are you watching now? Do you know what I've started watching? I've watched it because I only watched the last season, but I've watched all the first. You know that SAS Who Dares Wins. And he's watched that.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love that show.
That geezer got a load of shit, didn't he? The fucking geezer.
And
Saying that-
Middleman.
Yeah, he got a load of shit.
But you've got the celebrity one starting on Monday, and they've got some good people in it. You've got Tony Bellew's in it, Katie Price, Joey Essex, I think's in it. So it'll be funny. I like seeing shit out of that. But Tony Bellew would be funny because I feel sorry whoever's got to do the boxing against him.
Yeah, it's like bloody. No, I watched this.
Just windmilling, isn't it?
What am I watching? Simpsons.
Oh, Nicky's got the Disney Plus. That's all he's watching now. Disney Plus.
I'll tell you.
Until it comes out next week, the second series of Afterlife, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, I'll be watching that.
But you're not watching that now, are you, Graham? What are you watching now? That's the question. That's
I watched this the other day, that Tiger King. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It is fucking rubbish.
Wow.
Honestly, I saw the hype on. I thought I'll give it a chance. I got 2-3 episodes in. I said I ain't watching the rest, and then I thought, right, I've got to watch it just to see what happens. Jesus,
my brother said it's mental.
Well, like everyone's been telling me I need to watch it, and I've been like put off on it because everyone's overhyping it. But you're the first person I've seen say it's shit.
Honestly,
I've been watching Line of Duty.
I'll tell you what's good. I've just started watching it. I think about 3 episodes in.
Graham's just started watching Carry On films.
They had a load on. Yeah, they had a load on Easter weekend. They had like a all-day marathon of them.
Yeah. Right. So try Ozark. Try that one, right?
Ozark.
That's another one.
What was the other one you talked about? Money Heist.
Yeah,
Money Heist.
Someone said that to me last night to watch.
Yeah, Ozark. Because I don't get a lot of time to watch it. I've watched 3 episodes of that, and that's quite good.
That's another one everyone sort of like overhyping. I'm watching that on Netflix. This Kingdom is called. So Korean series, and it's like set in the 1500s with fucking like mad zombies, like but how you've never seen it done.
I think that Don't Fuck with Cats is better than that Tiger King.
I ain't watched that either.
That's worth a watch.
You're the first person though who's actually turned around and said to me that Tiger King's no.
I think that the hype guy, it was just boring me. Like I just didn't see what. Honestly, it was. Don't get me wrong. Like the twists in it are sort of all right, but it weren't like something that I thought. Why are people going mad over it? I think it's because people are in lockdown. They're just going a bit mad over it. But I didn't like. It's 6 hours. I won't get back.
What's I seen an advert today for Gangs of London, a new series it's on Netflix. Gangs of London.
No, I don't know.
An advert for it today. I think it's only just come out, but the advert looked quite good.
Brass Eye, Richard. By the way, Richard asked what program was it that Sullivan went on. Right, Brass Eye. Just replying to it.
Yes. Did you do a video about that or something?
What, Brass Eye? I should do a reaction to it. No, we was on it. It was me, you, and Gio talking about it on a podcast, wasn't he? And I was telling you about.
Didn't one of them never air?
Well, that
the other day.
That was me telling you about the Eamon Holmes thing.
That's right. Yeah.
He was meant to be on the second episode, but I don't think it ever aired because I think it come out around the time all the protests were happening, and I think they spend time with like billionaires and look at their lifestyle. So I don't think it was a good time to sort of have David Sullivan showboating about what he's doing in his house and walking around with his little legs.
Alyssa Brown says, have you got any more new T-shirts coming out and wearing the East London one that you've done? We will have a bit later on. Obviously, everyone's in lockdown at the minute. I don't know. I haven't spoke to my designer for a little while yet. Brass Eye got banned. Yeah, I know it did get banned.
great.
Scott, going back, I didn't like Tiger King. I turned it off after 1 or 2. I didn't really like it. It was just boring me, to be honest with you. It just like I
it was that bitch Carol Baskin.
It's a fucking mental story and all of that, but I'm starting to sort of expect that from Netflix now because they seem to be able to find these fucking mental people. I started watching Super Size Me 2.
My dad's been telling me about that. I watched Super Size Me 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching.
Doing that?
Huh?
It ain't McDonald's again, is it?
No, he's opening his own chicken restaurant. He wants to open it.
Right, yeah.
So I started watching that, but I fell asleep.
Someone in the comments asked Nick, have you watched Mandalorian yet? Because you got Disney Plus.
I watched one.
One episode?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
it's really good.
my next one to watch, Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's good, but I just have to sit down and find time. But I'm watching other things at the minute, so I just on my Simpsons thing. I don't know what it's 30 seasons of it, about 24 episodes.
You know what I watched on Disney Plus, Nick? Mighty Ducks. Remember Mighty Ducks with Emilio Estevez?
I remember them.
What's that?
You like the Mighty Ducks?
I watched that again the other day on Disney
Flying
Plus.
V.
Yeah, you can't defend against the Flying V, I tell you.
I watched the other day again.
That's what West Ham should do next season. Take it away. Just do the Flying V.
That'd be brilliant. Yeah, I went back and watched that again. 90s kids.
Kaylee says, Nicky, have you got any more funny stories to tell like last week after Dan left the chat? Also, Ryan, have you got any more Razor Ruddock?
Oh, yeah, the Razor Ruddock one, though. And I've done the Lee Hodges interview. I was telling him about the time when he signed my book and he basically writ, "You cunt." I'm only 15 years old. I've still got that. Yeah,
you should have took it to the interview. You know that. You should have took it to the
great bloke. Great bloke.
What was I going to say? Have I got any more funny stories? Do you know what? I can't think of any at the minute. Graham will have some for me. If he reminds me of one, I'll tell it. But
I'll think of some for next week.
Yeah,
because I've got to have a little think back. They'll just fucking Nicky's got untold stories.
I have got untold of them, but it's hard
stupid
to
shit
off the top of your head. But
yeah, on the spot it's difficult. But yeah, next week look out for Nicky's mad stories.
What else we got here?
Mad stories.
That's what I'm going to have to do now. I'm going to have to come up with a Nicky story for every week, you know.
Armin Kurtagic said, "Can you go through the financial situation again? I'm late." You can go back and watch the video.
Go back, mate. I'm not going to do it again. I can't just talk on about it for every single person that comes into the stream.
Tim's bang on. Yeah, he could read the future, mate.
Pennyworth. Have you seen Pennyworth? Nah, I don't like them sort of series.
I know Ryan down for White Rides. I'll arrest you going out. If so, what you doing?
I ain't fuck all. I ain't been out at all.
Yeah, man. Do you know what? I've enjoyed it.
Shopping and stuff.
Where I live, like it's nice around here. So you can drive around and the roads are clear and yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah. Oh. Matt Powell, I told these lot about 2 weeks ago to watch Sunderland until I die. None of them listened to me, mate.
No, do you know what? I've got that scheduled in. I'm going to watch the first series, and then I'm going to watch that, and then I'm going to watch the Man City one as well because I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, a lot more worth your time than Tiger King, I reckon.
No, fucking don't talk to me about Tiger King. Jesus Christ. I can still see the geezer now. All he kept saying was Carol Baskin. Carol fucking Baskin.
You know what? I would love to see you with that look though, the haircut and the fucking moustache.
Do you know what, mate? Give it another 2 weeks. I might have that look.
There's an app in there. You can do it. You can do it, Dan. You look a bit like him.
There's a Tiger King app. I'm gonna get on that.
Yeah, it's an Instagram bill, I think.
That looks like his boyfriend who had no teeth.
What? He had a boyfriend? I thought he stole someone's missus.
He had two boyfriends, two husbands.
I thought it was about him stealing someone's missus and killing the husband or something.
No. See,
right. I've been cross hammers as Nick's come out and said Dan looks like his husband. Husbands? He's committing same-sex polygamy.
Mate, it's America. You can do what you want. In some states, not all states.
Fucking hell. I don't know what it's about this.
I can see Graham working in that zoo though. He looks like a bit of a zookeeper. Mucking out.
So, I really like you're slagging it off, but I really feel like I need to watch it now.
I'll watch it, Gray, please. Please watch it. When you say you don't like it, I say, well, that's 6 hours you won't get back. Now you're in my club. It's one of them things I suppose you got to watch it because everyone's talking about it. But yeah, I didn't really. It weren't my sort of thing.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. See, I like sci-fi and stuff like that, and interesting things like that. So I haven't got time.
Matt Powell says you need to watch The Simpsons season 24, episode 7, as characters with them and as a
I've seen
failing.
that. I've seen that.
As well. But I'm watching them in order, and I've just gone past. I've just watched number 2 of Who Shot Mr. Burns. Does everyone remember who shot? See that, Dan?
Oh, Dan's dropped that.
Maggie done it.
Does everyone remember
Spoiler.
Who Shot Mr. Burns? You remember how fucking massive that was back in the day?
Yeah.
Bigger than when Who Shot JR.
It was a bit disappointing, though, wasn't it? It was a bit of a anticlimactic, though, really. Maggie.
You notice though, the Simpsons have been on for about 30 years, and none of them have ever got older, or none of them have ever changed their clothes.
Bart should be 40.
And why is it when
38?
When Bart goes to church, he combs his hair down?
Yeah.
Thing is, with the Simpsons, like it starts off and it goes like that, and it gets good, and then like eventually you're gonna get to the point where it's just gonna get down in quality. They go on holiday all the time, and
it's rubbish now. I'll be honest, I think it's rubbish now.
I can't remember the last time I watched a new episode of Simpsons.
I think since South Park came out, that just killed Simpsons for me. I couldn't watch because South Park was so good.
No, see, Simpsons is brilliant. Simpsons, when you watch it now, like it's timeless. It's you know, the comedy's good and all that. But technology, I think technology has ruined the Simpsons a little bit because you know things like social media and things like that being implemented into things. I think it just kills the joke.
I just think like they ran out.
I think the movie ruined it as well.
I think I think Simpsons was good up until the movie. Once the movie got done,
that's probably when I should have finished.
But that's what I mean. They ran out of ideas because you look how South Park writes their shows in a 1 week turnaround. So then they're always current. So everything they're talking about is shit that people are current. Whereas Simpsons, they're like, oh, we're going to send them to Baghdad this week. We're going to send them to Japan.
When you think about what's changed, right? The first episode of The Simpsons was 31 years ago. Think about what's changed in that time, like the way technology has even changed. It's mad to think. It's mad to think what's happened in that time.
31 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still prefer Tom and Jerry. The old Tom and Jerry's.
Fucking Tom and Jerry. But that's the thing, like you can't have that now anymore, isn't it? Too violent, so you can't have it.
I must admit, though, I think we were spoilt when we were going up. The amount of good cartoons we had compared to some of the rubbish that's on TV nowadays.
You ever notice though, like Donald Duck, right? Yeah. He wears his blue top, doesn't he? And he's got nothing on the bottom. But then when you see him get out of the bath, he puts his towel around himself.
Because he's wet.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Yeah, why don't he put a towel around the bit that he wears the clothes? Yeah, he has it around his waist, doesn't he? Interesting.
Everyone has the towel around their waist when they get in the shower, no?
No,
but he's walking man naked the rest of the time. He's only got his top on.
Yeah, but he's wet.
Never covers his bottom. But then when he gets out of the bath, he covers his bottom.
This is a theory, right? Talking about Mickey Mouse and things, yeah. If Goofy's a dog, yeah, is Pluto a gimp?
A gimp.
If Goofy's a dog, is Pluto a gimp?
A gimp.
Is he?
So Pluto.
Think of
Pluto's a ponce.
Maybe Pluto's a different breed, a different race of, he's a
Goofy's a dog. So if Goofy's a dog, is Pluto a gimp?
I would say
it's a good point, isn't it?
He's challenged. He's challenged.
So if you challenge, you tie him up in the back garden, yeah?
No. I'm just listen. That's
Goofy's a science experiment gone wrong.
But if he has got a whole family, if you ever watched did you ever see the Goofy series? They gave him his own series, and obviously you've got Pete, who's the villain.
Right, this has got into a real bad direction now.
We got on there. So.
Yeah,
you put it there, Nick.
No, I did put it there, but I'm just thinking about how far removed we are from anything.
How many good nights did we have in the Foresters?
Oh, Foresters and Army and Navy. I used to go in.
Funny enough, I drove past the Army and Navy yesterday because the Canning Town, where McDonald's is, you couldn't get onto the A13, so I had to go down the Barking Road and cut down to get on the A13. I drove past it. It's sad to see all the pubs when you go down the Barking Road now. I think there's only, I don't even think the Abbey's open. I don't even think that's open.
The Abbey's still open.
Yeah, it's still open. I think that's the only one, isn't it? No?
Yeah.
Beer in there a little while ago.
Amount of times, I shouldn't really say that.
Opposite Balaam Street swimming baths.
The amount of times,
you had the Swan on the corner by Iceland's, didn't you? That went.
Yeah, the other one
that went years ago.
I'm in neighbourhood down New Barn Street, yeah. And the amount of fucking nights out I had in there when I was in school with my mate Nicky Dixon, Ben Davis, and Luke James before we went Time and Envy, mate, was unreal.
Time and Envy.
One of our mates used to live in the flat opposite. Remember the Foresters?
Yeah. What was that other club? That it wasn't the Time and Envy we used to go to. It was the other one in Ilford.
What, Fifth Avenue?
Fifth Avenue.
Yeah,
Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue. When I was in school. I wonder I can't turn that.
I used to go to school, come home, and go at the beak still wearing my school trousers and a shirt. I used to be a fucking 90-year-old man to get in a pub. I was only like 16, 15.
Fucking hell.
Room at the top. Arla Quinn. Do you remember Arla Quinn, Ilford?
Yeah.
Legend. Do you remember Legends at Barking?
I once forged my birth certificate to get into a pub in Green Street, the White Hart pub, and my mate, he wrote with biro over the top of my birth date, and we went in, and I showed him my birth certificate to the bouncer, and I got in. He was taking birth certificates.
I
remember I ordered one of my passports with cling film.
I think I'm the only one who went Eastleigh here, innit? None of yous went Eastleigh.
No, I went to Bonds.
Yeah, yous were all dragged up. That's why. Scumbags.
Wine bar, Barking Road. Yeah, I remember that.
Bonds, great. I was meant to go St. Bonds, but I went Eastleigh because it was literally over the road from where I lived. So
I was meant to go Langdon, but that was the nearest one to me, but went to St. Bonds.
Is that wine bar still open? Is that still open?
Yeah, what was Miller's well, wasn't it?
Mr. Lepard was my PE teacher. Mr. Walker was actually my form tutor. He passed away a few years ago. He's a Wolves fan. Always smoked cigars.
O'Neill's late.
Don't talk to me about O'Neill's.
You talk in the classroom. Mr. Walker would have a massive cigar, and it was just a cloud of smoke. And he used to wear the same jeans every day, and he'd have the mark of a cigar box in his back pocket.
O'Neill's Leytonstone, right? I was going there. I think I went there first time on my 21st birthday.
No, the first night we went there was Halloween.
Yeah, that was it. Halloween when I was about 19, and we had a good night in there. Scott met his wife there.
Yep. Yeah, the place we used to call Dog Holes is that as well.
Dog Holes, yeah.
Bloody hell,
mate, it's still Dog Holes.
Still Dog Holes.
They can paint that place up as much as they want. It's still Dog Holes.
Yeah.
Richard Biggerty, favourite bar on game day.
Wherever I can get served.
Yeah, we used to go M&M bar in on Barking Road. That was where me and my family went. I quite liked that, and then it got closed down because someone got stabbed in there, and they fucking closed it.
Was that the one that was opposite the?
It was opposite Central.
Central, yeah. It was like a black painted black.
Yeah, and then eventually they put a West Ham thing. Yeah,
I went in there once.
They played good music in there, and they used to do karaoke after games sometimes. It was quite good.
I used to like Central because you could get served in there. It was all right in there.
They
used to have fans in there as well, so you could have a little bit of
Tim's Smith, Shannon's, Seven Kings.
Left there.
A few great night out in there. Hey?
I said I think I got a couple of pairs of shoes stuck on the carpet there.
I think I've still got about 4 coats in the cloakroom now.
Okay. Look, listen, I'd love to talk to you all night, but I need to go to bed soon because my head is pounding.
Nick, one more. This is a blast.
Village Wine Bar.
Wine Bar.
Wine Bar.
Yeah, that's a funny story you can tell about the Jack Daniels getting to the Village Wine Bar.
All right.
Everyone get tucked in. Nicky story time.
We
Hold
were.
Hold up, I'm getting my blanket. Hang on.
Let me just go get some milk.
I think I was 15. I think Ryan was 14. Something like that.
Fuck off. I was 15, you were 16.
Oh, sorry. All right, I was 16. Ryan. Sorry.
14.
My
mum might watch it.
We nabbed ourselves some cash, and we was going for a night out in the village wine bar. And obviously, like when you're young like that, you ain't got a lot of money to play with, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be like you'd be on a very tight budget. You'd have like sort of 50 quid and all that. So the plan is to sort of get yourself a little bit pissed before you get there. So I'm not a massive whiskey drinker. So I said to Ryan, let's go to the off license and get ourselves a bottle of something and drink it on the way there. And then when we get there, we'll be a little bit sort of half cut. So it won't be. He said, yeah, that's a good idea. So I'm thinking of like Archers or Schnapps or something like that, you know, something easy to drink. So we're getting on a bus from Canning Town to the village wine bar, right? So he says to me, let's get a bottle of Jack Daniels. I'm like, no, man. I said, like, I don't like Jack Daniels. He's like, yeah, but I love it. And I've never really. I said, come on in. So I give him some money. He's gone into the shop. Come out. He's got a full bottle, like a litre bottle, right?
Bloody hell. Done a litre.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the size less than a litre, but it was a fucking big one. It wasn't a mini one.
A medium-sized bottle, wasn't it?
Like the 70 ones, yeah.
Yeah, so 70 ml. I was like, fucking hell, like, how are we going to drink all that? We're getting on the bus from Canning Town to the wine bar, right? So anyway, I said, give it here. We wrapped it up in this paper bag, right? So the bus driver couldn't see us with it because they wouldn't let you on with them. So we've gone upstairs. So I've opened it up, right? And I'm not, as I said, I'm not a massive whiskey drinker. So I've took my swig of it. And I've like, oh, you know, like that fucking when it's all bitter and like goes down your gullet. Fucking too much. Anyway, give it to him. I get a phone call, right, on my
PH 388.
PH 388 or something, right? So I've answered it, and I'm looking out the window.
Hello,
right? Chatting away, and we're getting up towards like the Abbey Arms, yeah. So I said to him, like, fucking right. I've turned back round and he's had this drink all the time, and I could see him twigging it. I'm chatting away on the phone, and I said to him, "Oh shit, I better have some more." So I took it off of him, yeah, and I swigged it. And you know, like when you've got an empty bottle, when you just go like this, a little trickle come out of the bottle at the top, right? I'm like, fucking hell, did you drop that? And I turn around, right, and he was looking at me like this. He was smiling. He looked like Barney Gumble, and he was looking at me with one eye, like wobbling around, just smiling.
Mate, you're lucky. I never knew that there was a little trickle left in it. I'd have drunk that as well.
He drank the whole fucking bottle. I had one swig out of it. It was just like 15 quid. He drank the whole fucking bottle from Canning to the fucking Abbey Arms.
Thing is, though, you go in the wine bar, you only need about a tenner, a couple of beers, you're away, mate.
Yeah, you must have been.
Do you remember that time though?
Cheap.
We got in there. We was underage. We got in there, and there was about 5 of us, and we was all panicking to go to the bar. And we was like, "No, look, we're gonna get served. We're in." So we've all gone to the bar. We got our WKD blues, as you do. We're all on the dance floor, like pretending like, yeah, we're the bollocks when we weren't. And all of a sudden, the old bill come in, and we all chucked our drinks on the floor because we thought we were nicked.
We shit ourselves.
Oh, Nick, I thought of a story for next week, mate. For one of Nicky's stories. The day you had the interview, when you had your interview at our place.
Yeah, I'll tell that next time.
Right.
Oh, I don't.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it, guys.
Well
thank you so much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. I hope we've entertained you on lockdown.
Wait, we're going to do the bubbles for the 20 quid.
Yeah, he did say he donated it, but if he throws to me he donated it, then I'll do it. But
yeah, if he tweets us it, then we'll do it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
the
about
fourth-
bit. I don't know, man.
That's probably once lockdown's lifted, we'll be able to look at that once, isn't it? The lockdown, it'll be easier for us to. We'll have more options.
I'll tell you what his forfeit can be. He can drink a bottle of Jack Daniels on the number 15 bus from Canning Town to the.
Do it. That's a good one.
Got to do it all in one go.
We'll all get on the bus together.
Oh, what about doing what I call a Jason special, Nick? Right, which is what we have. It's a cocktail.
Jason,
No, it's a cocktail, right, of different spirits, right, in one glass. Vodka, gin, whiskey, fucking rum.
Is that it?
No, Pernod, maybe. It's all different. Whatever we can get our hands on. Sambuca.
You animal.
Well, you can decide the
No
cocktail.
Pernod. I'm not having Pernod. I'm not having anything that's got shite.
Not Pernod, right? But you have them four, and then maybe Sambuca in it, or a cocktail of spirits. I'm saying.
You pay for it, yeah?
Yeah, we'll
Dan's
chip
paying
in.
for it.
We'll all chip in.
No, it was my forfeit. I'll pay for it.
Dan,
right, on our next night out, yeah.
If he don't drink it, I will.
Oh, mate, I've got some videos of us drinking them, mate. It's not pretty, but we'll do it next night out, right? Once this lifts on the night out, we'll get that for Nick. We'll film it. That's the forfeit.
Who's carrying him home?
I'll find a wheelbarrow.
We'll stick him in an Uber.
Luke, you mould and Del Boy and Nicky.
We're a syrup on next week's show.
Can borrow some of mine if you want.
Yeah. Get a Tiger King one, Nick.
Can I borrow yours, Gray?
Yeah, mate, you can, yeah.
I think there was a bit of wind halfway through the show because I'm sure his hair shifted a bit to the left.
Thank you very much for joining us on this West Ham Fan TV Friday Night Pint. Thank you. I hope we've kept you entertained for the last couple of hours or so. Anyone want to say anything before we go?
Thank you. Keep safe, stay indoors.
Stay safe, everybody. Yep.
I know the lockdown's been extended and all of that sort of stuff, so we'll keep on bringing them to you every Friday night. We're trying to get some more content out during the week, but it's proving a little bit difficult. I think I'm suffering a little bit with my mental health at the minute because I'm suffering with bad headaches and things. So, stay safe. Thank you for joining in. We've got a Patreon. If you want to join the Patreon, go down in the comment section down below. There'll be something down there after Dan, I want to talk to you after about videos as well. Stay home, stay safe. Up the NHS. That's it. One thing left to say, boys.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.